Elder Scroll is a series that has its name engraved in history in golden letters. It's been almost 13 years since the last Elder Scroll game. We haven't seen a new Elder Scroll game for 13 years, and it's obvious that we won't see a new game in these years. If we look at the Fallout series, the last Fallout game was released in 2015. It's been 9 years and it doesn't look like we're going to see a new Fallout game soon. Of course, now some of our friends may say, why don't you count Fallout 76, which was released 6 years ago? But for me, it's like there is no game. I'm not counting it down, I'm acting like there isn't. Why? Because it's also a product full of fiascos in every sense. In this video, we will touch on these fiascos. How can a company attempt such a business? Why do they insist so much on swimming in unknown waters? How do they create crisis after crisis and fail to manage it? Here is Fallout 76, an epic game that does wrong things. Part 1. Why this game? Bethesda, which makes Fallout 3 and 4 games with the Elder Scrolls series, is a very rooted company. Most of you already know. This company's mission is make solid open-world RPG action games. Even though there are aspects that we criticize, it's one of the rare companies that do this job best. Open worlds really challenge the desire for exploration. The missions are interesting, there are a ton of things to do, and best of all, freedom prevails over the game. This is Bethesda. It's a company that can do this very well, but one day, this company announced something we never expected. A game called Fallout 76.
It is 4 times the size of Fallout 4.
It will much larger map than the previous game Fallout 4. At the same time, it will be visually improved and provide an exciting online experience. Wait a second, an online experience? Yes, Bethesda, which has been making great one-person games so far, has started to make a huge online game this time. For the first time in its history. They decided to make such a big online game. This is Fallout 76. I don't care much about the process part in this video. The part we are going to look at it is the part after it was made. They made the game in a way, went on the market, and surprisingly they were wedged on scorings. The first step of this hit was enormous mistakes in the game. Step by step, a mistake and a lot of bugs. It bothered the players a lot. Players who can get away from mistakes begin to get bored of the game. They were said that the game wasn't interesting. After a few hours, many players stopped playing the game. And I'm one of those who dislike the game, and I still can't understand how Bethesda made such a mistake like this. Look guys, do you know what was interesting about these productions? It was the missions to be discovered, the people, the surprising turn of incidents. I really loved this the most in Bethesda games. Otherwise, the games didn't have a great action, it didn't have great graphics either. The big and small stories of these games were beautiful. The weird group missions you got from the NPCs were interesting. This was the case of these games for me, but for some reason in Fallout 76, these were not there, because there was no human child in the game that could go to a proper interaction other than real players. Not at all. I mean, there are no mysterious characters, weird dialogues, surprise incidents. What Bethesda does most interestingly is not in this game. Who made this decision in this way is something I still don't understand. Then came the new DLC game, people and characters came with it, but it's over. I didn't look again, I don't know if I would look or not. The strange thing is that there were many problems with the online side of this game made with the online mind. These were such problems that it wasn't something to talk about in 2 or 3 words. There was running faster than normal, playing without carrying weight, there were bugs like being immortal. Can you think of these mistakes in an online game? In fact, while Bethesda couldn't carry the things they did well in their previous games to Fallout 76, they managed to carry the things they did badly, such as mistakes and bugs. Bad results brought by making such a big game in an area you don't know. Did excessive self-confidence cause these results? Or did they already say that the players will play whatever we give them? I don't know what they did, but unfortunately the product that came out didn't make a good start. However, these oddities in their online field were not limited only to the beginning. Part 2. Earn money. Why does a company want to make online games today? What is the main motivation for making online games? The answer is simple: for regular money flow. That is, to continue making money in the long run. If you can make an online game, you will get a regular income. Even if games like this last for long hours, they are once by finished games. Even if the company sells DLC or something later, the money it can break from us is obvious. What else are you going to break? But if you make an online game, you have two possibilities to sell the game. You will sell clothes, sell weapons, armors, helmets, in short, you will sell as you sell. The limit of what can be sold is only your imagination. However, for these sales, you need to achieve a small detail first. You have to keep the game high. First, someone has to play the game so that can sell something to someone, right? After this small detail, you need to solve the second important issue: game economy. There is an economy in all online games of this kind. For example, Fallout 76's game money is called Atom. Whether you earn 4,000 Atom by playing the game, or you pay 40 euros and buy 4,000 Atom. 40 euros. That's why the game economy is a sensitive business. Think about it, if you could earn 4,000 atoms in 30 minutes, no one would pay and get 4,000 atoms, right? Everyone would earn in 30 minutes. Or on the contrary, if the game was so unfair that it could earn 4,000 atoms in 1,000 hours, it would be cursed. That's why the balance is important in economy. Bethesda tried to balance this for Fallout 76. It published a game that it created an economic model and wanted to see people's reaction. But again, it was a victim of impotence. There's a famous place in Bethesda games. There is a secret room in the game. This secret place was in Fallout 4 and Skyrim. The name of this place is Developer Room, in short Dev Room. The thing about this room is that we can find all the items in the game here. I say every item. Every item from the last level sword to a cup of coffee. The answer to the question of why there is such a room is not quite clear. Is the development process easier now? When this happens, is it easy to reveal the item? Some people say that these puzzles are found to test the items in the game, which is as logical as this, but the reason is not important. Because as a result, Bethesda games have dev rooms, which is not very important when playing a one-person game. It's up to you to discover the dev room. After all, you are playing alone. But as I told you, Bethesda brought their bad habits to Fallout 76, and guess what they did? Yes, they also put that famous dev room in Fallout 76. Think of a room like this in an online game. Imagine the revels of the players after accidentally discovered this dev room. Normally these types of rooms are secret rooms, and they are rooms that should not be found, but the players will find it. If there is something like this, they find it. Think of it, from the strongest item in the game to the simplest item, a room where you can find everything in an online game. Moreover, they destroyed it in an online game. Yes, they destroyed it. After the players discovered the dev room, they flocked to invade the dev room. Then it was already a disaster. Neither the players' economy remained, nor was there any sale with real money. Everything was free. People looted their rooms. Of course, after this situation, Bethesda rang the emergency bell. The first solution they found was simple: ban all players entering dev room from the game. If the character entered dev room, it would be banned. It may seem like a logical solution, but it's not. Because the players opened a side account, entered dev room with those side accounts, took the items, and then transferred them to their real characters. So all the players that Bethesda banned as a solution were actually level 1 side icons. The meaningless empty side wall opened. Bethesda saw that this banning job didn't produce a clear solution, sat down and came up with another plan. Players with too many items at a suspicious level with a banning plan. If a player had an abnormal amount of items, they would be banned. And we can say that this situation led to the biggest debate in history. Because Bethesda banned a player who played the game for 900 hours because he had as many bullets as necessary. Think about it, I said Bethesda banned a player who played the most this game. Bro, what did you do 900 hours in the game? Who plays Fallout 76 for 900 hours? Of course, to be included, everyone went over this situation. Bethesda betrayed a player. It was a pity that Bethesda said the player who played 900 hours would be banned. They said it wouldn't be such a disgrace, but it turned out later. Bethesda was right, the person who played 900 hours actually made a duplicate. However, most people still don't know that Bethesda is right in this situation, because the news of the banning of the 900-hour player didn't show a quick response to Bethesda. Everyone read the first part of the news, said that the player was banned for 900 hours, and then made an explanation to Bethesda, but it didn't carry much news value. For many people, Bethesda was wrong in this case. You see, If people don't reach their room, they cannot ban them correctly and cannot understand the system. By the way, Bethesda didn't even understand how they got in. In fact, they even sent an email once and asking, "How do you get in here? Please tell us." These are the things that made them. That's why I said that the strangeness in online games has put Bethesda in a very difficult position. But it doesn't end here. Part 3 Collections. This time, Fallout 76 name is mixed with another scandal, which is the collection version of the game. People wanted to order the collection version for Fallout 76 because the version shown to them was exciting. Look at these pieces, this helmet, look at the bag. Isn't it exciting? Especially look carefully at the bag. Because when the pre-order collection version started to reach people, they also tried to look carefully at the bag. One user looked at the bag in his hand, then he looked at the bag on the internet. Then he looked at the bag in his hand again and again and said, "What the hell is this?" The bag used in the product's introduction was a pretty shaped canvas bag, while the bag that reached people seemed to be made of a nylon plastic bag. In fact, it was not like that. The fabric was different, so it looked fake. Moreover, this was not just a bag for one person. All collection versions were distributed in this way. Instead of canvas bag, people received fake plastic bags. Of course, as a reaction, people started to send a ton of complaints emails to Bethesda. Customer services were narrowed. Issues were opened on the internet, messages were posted on the forums, ton of incidents occurred. As this bag, while everyone was waiting for a response from Bethesda, a new crisis emerged. The main reason for this crisis was the response to a customer. Let's see the answer given from the customer service to a customer who said, "What will happen to these bags? I want to return." "We were sorry that you're not satisfied with the bag. The bag shown in the media was a prototype and it was very expensive to make, so we don't plan to do anything about it." Whoa, whoa, whoa. You show a bag, then you send another bag and you say, "We will not make another solution in this regard." Oh yeah, legendary answer. Of course, Bethesda apologized for this answer later. As a result, it would be wrong to blame the whole company for the email that one person sent. But you were not going to do it at all. Moreover, this is not Bethesda's first mistake on the subject. A Skyrim was also said to give Bethesda players a fool's map, but when it turned out that the coming map was made of plain paper, it was a small crisis. Of course, the fact that social media wasn't so widespread in 2011 kept this crisis small. Let's go back to Fallout 76. The angry players already got into cubes with this answer. Bethesda needed to provide a solution and it did. But the first solution Bethesda found wasn't to send the original canvas bag to the players. Because they said, "We can't find the materials to make canvas bag, there is no enough materials on the market. That's why we give you the original bag instead of the in-game money," they said. 500 atoms, 500 units of money for the game. Well, do you know the real value of 500 atom money is $5? And they don't help you get anything to send in the game. Moreover, the money that the players pay for this collection is $200. Okay, not $200 for one bag, but don't do it. Where is $5? Where is $200? Moreover, you are the who one makes a promotion that hurts users. People are victims. I think Bethesda officials realized that this 500 atom idea would calm the players down, and of course they soon realized they were wrong. So that's where the oddities about online games come in. Whoever thought if we give 500 atom money to the players, they would be satisfied with it. Someone really came up with this idea. You should never have played online games to come up with this idea. Even if you ask me, I say, don't do it, it's nonsense. Is it such an idea? After all the discussions, Bethesda finally said, "Okay, we will send canvas back the bags in the original pictures. And for this, please fill in the support ticket and send it to us." The step would be like this. The collectors would fill in the tickets. Thanks to the tickets, Bethesda would understand whether its users really bought that version or not and would eventually send it back. The matter has been resolved, right? Unfortunately not. The crisis this time came about because of the ticket. This support ticket thing is like a forum. It's a system that is used a lot in online games. Online gamers will already know. If there is a situation related to the game, you fill in the support ticket, you send it, the company will look at it. A lot of ticket was filled for Fallout 76 bags, but this time it was noticed that the ticket could be read by other people. For a clear reason in the system, users could read the tickets of other users, home addresses, phone numbers, credit cards, etc. They could see them all. The more strange part of the matter is that they were able to change these informations. As soon as this incident broke out, shouting and cries rose on the internet. Bethesda immediately closed the site. They said, we can make a solution right away, but at least we won't let anyone access the site. Unfortunately, this incident didn't cause a big crisis. According to Bethesda's statement, very few users were affected by this situation. But when you put these incidents in a row like this, there are an incredible number of incidents. Moreover, these are the most basic incidents that I mentioned. There are so many that number doesn't end. Chapter 4. Is it good now? Swimming in unfamiliar sea is always risky, but some things that minimize this risk could have been done before. It's like making a hardcore game that works before setting up an in-game payment system. Fallout 76 came out as a problematic game, but unfortunately it came out as a boring game. Bethesda games had good things to do, but it was very little compared to the previous game. When you look at it now, the game is not a dead game, there are still serious online players. It seems that there are 25,000 to 35,000 active users a day. Of course, this is not a good number for a brand like Fallout, but there are some. However, the fact that this game has sold around 2.5 million copies since its release shows that it's wrong. Let me state that Fallout 4 has a sale of 15 million. I don't know, maybe the DLCs for Fallout 76 are very good, maybe the game is playing right now. I don't want to lose its rights. After all, Bethesda is not a scarecrow. Even if they make these kinds of mistakes, this is a company that has done very good work before. But I hope they don't enter an online game like this again. Give it to another company, let them do Fallout Online. Look at Elder Scrolls Online, it's a pretty good company. Maybe there are those who complain, but the player is playing. The number of players is also quite good. It has an active player for 2.5 million per month. This is not a game made by Bethesda, it's a game made by ZeniMax Online Studios. You don't do it, man. Keep doing what you do. I don't know, give us Fallout 5, give us Elder Scrolls 6, give us Starfield before. We love you, don't make such mistakes.